notice we have a variable term on the left side. We have a number term on the left side. Same thing on the right side. Remembering we still have that border to consider. So, what do I need to do to get my variable terms to one side, my constant terms to the other? What do you think, Graham?
Well, if you want to get your variable terms to the left side, you want to start with the variable term on the right side. So I took the negative 6y and wrote a subnote under it, plus 6y, and did the same to the variable on the other side.
Awesome. Very nice. So the logic there, once again, folks, we're trying to essentially make those add to 0 on the right. Okay, that's the ultimate goal. When we're bringing terms back and forth, we want them to add to 0 so that they're essentially gone. And in this case, those guys are gone. You know what? Let's do one more in the same step to save us a little bit of writing. Notice that negative 13 on the left. How could I get that number to the right side? What am I going to do there, Nate?
Cancel it out. That would be put plus 13 and then bring it over to the right side. So under plus 7, also put plus 13.
Nicely done. Awesome job. Okay, so we're essentially using those opposite operations we discussed the other day. Now, noticing the canceled terms, it's up to you how you treat them. Some people might take like a white marker on their iPad and literally kind of cover them up so they're not there. You could scribble all over them like this so they're literally not showing up. It doesn't matter what you do. However, we want to make sure that we now simplify by adding our like terms. Notice on the left side, we've got some like terms here and here. And on the right side, we have some like terms here and here. So let's put them together, and what do we get? So let's take care of the left side. Somebody new, someone new, who's it going to be? Hassan? All right, good job. 4y plus 6y, we end up with 10y's. That is equal to, what do we have on the right side? I have 7 plus 13. Nate? Nicely done. And finally, folks, the last step. Whenever you have one term on the left, one term on the right, you know you are at the final step. There's nothing else I can do for adding and subtracting. Because remember, adding and subtracting will only bring a term from one side to the other side. So if I try to add and subtract anything right now, all it's going to do is just switch terms around. It's not going to help me get to the answer. However, if I look here, I have 10 times y. And if we think opposite operations, what's the opposite of multiply? Sophia? Division. So I know division is going to happen. Whatever I do on one side, I do to the other. What am I going to divide by? This is a part that a lot of people, they're not really sure which number they're supposed to divide by. Some people divide by the 20. Some people divide by the 10. They're not sure why. Someone tell me why and give me a justification. Who has justification? What do you think, Graham?
Seeing as you're trying to get the y variable on itself, you'd want to divide by 10.
How come? What's that going to do for me?
Because it'll put y alone.
Awesome. Y alone with what coefficient? What's the number in front of the y? Is it a 0? Do we get 0 y's? Is that why we're doing this? What do you think, Megan? 1y. Nicely done. So 10 divided by 10 gives us the 1y that we were looking for. And we'll do the same on the right side. 20 divided by 10, we end up with dose. Nicely done. 2. And we are done. Double checking, guys. Once again, taking that y equals 2. Check it out. What's 4 times 2? 4 times 2 is? 8. What is 8 minus 13? That's kind of a crappy one to do. What do you think?
It's got to be negative 5.
Negative 5. So you hang on to that, okay, Anthony? You got negative 5? You hanging on to it?
Yeah.
All right. Nicely done. Let's go over here. What is negative 6 times 2? Negative 6 times 2. Nate? Ooh, close. Close. Negative and a positive is a? Awesome. 6 times 2 is? 12. So negative 12. Awesome. Plus 7. What's negative 12 plus 7, folks? Negative 12 plus 7. Negative 5. Anthony, what was your number?
Negative 5.
Does negative 5 equal negative 5? Are we right? Then we know that our solution, y equals 2, must be correct. Okay, so always go back, sub it in to both sides, make sure that you know that your answer is correct.